Hello, welcome back to the final review. We're going to go over a few problems for math algebra, and should help you on your final exam. And this should cover the 3 chapters. Let's look at this. Right, we got a group of points here. We want to know if this is a function or not function. We talked about it before. Function is for every input you got to have exactly one output. And here, -5 has two different outputs. -5 give you 3, and -5 give you 7. So therefore, we can say, you know what? That is not a function. So not a function right there. And another thing is, what is the domain? Domain is in the x range. So what is your lowest x? Lowest x is going to be -5. So domain, it's going to be -5. And the highest one is going to be 4. Same thing, your range, it's going to be, the lowest is going to be 1, and the highest is going to be 7. That's it. So let's do the next problem. Go through these quickly. Okay, let's find out if there's a function. Okay, if we have a function, say if we have a function like f of x, and f of x is equal -12x cube, and we want to know this function is even or odd. So we're going to say for a function to become even, so if a function is even, has to be f of -x have to be equal f of x. Okay? We already have f of x. We know what that f of x is. So that is right here. But we want to know what's a negative. We want to know what's a f of -x. That means wherever I have x, I plug in -x. So I'm going to say, all right, f of -x is equal -12. So wherever I have x, I'm going to put -x in there, and I'm going to cube it. Okay? So to simplify this, it's going to come out to that still be -12. If every time you raise a negative number by a odd number, it comes out negative. If you raise a negative number by even number, it comes out positive. In this case, we're raising negative number by an odd number. And so it's going to be -x cubed. All right? And then you multiply the negative, and the answer is going to come out to 12x cubed, which is positive. So that's your f of x. Is this is equal this? No. So my f of x is not equal negative f of -x. Therefore, this function is not even. Okay, so we know it says not even. But that's not what they want to ask me. They want to know if it's even or odd. Let's find out what odd is going to do. For a function to become odd, okay, if it's going to be odd, therefore, it should follow this rule. F of -x should come out to, minus f of x. There you go. All right, we already have this because it came out to 12x cubed. So let's find out what minus f of x comes out to. So minus f of x comes out to, we put the minus, and what is f of x? So we got the minus here. F of x is over here. So f of x is, this is f of x going to be minus 12x cubed. Okay, and that equal minus times minus become positive. So plus 12x cubed. Is this equal this? Yes. F of -x, which come out to 12x cubed. F of minus f of x comes out to the same thing. So yes, it's odd. There you go. Okay. Okay, the next one we have this circle here. This is x and this is y. Don't pick on my circle. That's a perfect circle. And the center of the circle is located at -4 and 3. So we know, remember the equation of circle? Let's separate this here. The equation of circle was, if you remember, was x minus h cubed plus y minus k squared equal radius squared. Okay? Sometimes they have a big R, sometimes they have a small R. I've used a big R there. So now this is our, right now, that's our h and k. So what is my h? My h is -4. My k is 3. Could be a question. And what is my radius? So the radius is from center all the way to the edge. In this case, since the edge is touching that, it's going to be, if it's here -4 right here, -4, so the radius is equal 4. So my radius is equal 4. Okay? What is the equation for it? Well, the equation is mark. Okay, let's do this over again. So that was x minus -4 squared plus y minus k is at 3 squared equal 4, which is 16, 4 squared. So if you do this again, and it becomes like a x plus 4 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 16. So we got that. That takes care of that problem. Okay, we have this problem here, and we want to find out what is the x-intercept and what is the y-intercept to solve this. So if the x-intercept, that means your y is 0. The y-intercept, that means your x is 0. And so it says if we have a line like this, and the line go through, where is it going to cross x, and where is it going to cross y? So where this line crossing x, that means its y is 0. Where this line crossing y, that means x is 0. So let's find the x-intercept. That will be right here. That means your y is 0. So it's 3x plus 5 times 0, which is 0, equals 6. So we have 3x is equal 6, and therefore your x is equal, both sides divided by 2 by 3, x is equal 2. That's x-intercept. Now let's find out the y-intercept. So this time we'll make this 0. So it becomes 3 times 0 plus 5y is equal 6. So now we have 5y is equal 6, and y is equal 6 divided by 5. That's it. Okay, let's have this equation. X squared minus 49 is equal 0. How are we solving that? And we're going to say, all right, x squared is equal 49. Now, if we take square root of both sides, become square root of x squared. If we take a square root of both sides, square root of 49. When you do that, then x is equal plus or minus whatever this comes out. Square root of 49 is 7. So one of your x is 7, the other x is -7. So x1 is equal 7, and x2 is equal -7. Let's do the same thing on a line, the same line. While we here, say if we have a problem like x multiplied by x minus 20 plus 30 equals 0. This is a quadratic equation. Remember we talked about quadratic equation and quadratic formula? And the quadratic equation, we thought it was going to be like in form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal 0. So we want to go ahead and make this look like that. What we're going to do, we're going to say, okay, x times x is x squared. X times -10 becomes minus 20x. And plus 30 is equal 0. Okay, this is my x squared, so my a is equal 1. My b is -20. My c is equal 30. And quadratic equation, if you remember, was minus b, so x is equal minus b plus or minus square root of b squared plus, no, minus 4ac divided by 2 times a. So let's solve this. And therefore we have minus b. We said b is to negative 20. So minus 20 makes it plus 20, right? Because this is a minus, and it's already minus 20. So minus 20 minus 20 is plus 20. Then we have plus or minus square root of, okay, b squared is negative 20 squared. So when you have a 20, you square it by even number, it becomes positive. That becomes 400. Minus 4 times a is 1, and c is 30, so that's 120, right? And divide the whole thing by 2 times a, which is 2 times 1. All right. And if you simplify this, that becomes plus 20, plus or minus, and use your calculator. This comes out to 400 minus 120 is 280, right? So 280 and divided by 2. So there's your answer. One answer will be x1 is equal 20 plus square root of 280 divided by 2a, which is 2. And your x2, it comes out to 20 minus square root of 280 divided by 2. Okay, the next one is we have 2 points here. And this 2 point, we want to find out what the distance between 2 points is. And we're going to use distance formula. If you remember, distance formula was distance formula for P1 and P2 is equal square root of, and this is you can call this x1, y1, x2, y2. So the formula says, okay, it's x2 minus x1 squared plus, that's a nice square, right? And then we have y2 minus y1, y2 minus y1 squared. Let's plug these numbers in. So the distance between these 2 points is, my x2 is 7, minus x1, which is minus 5, right? That makes it plus 5. Okay, minus 5 makes it plus 5. Then square this and plus y2. y2 is 4, okay, minus y1 is 3, and square. So you continue the square root, that becomes 12 by power 2, 144 plus 1. So you become 145. That's your answer. While we're here, let me erase this again. Okay, let's find the midpoint for this point. Midpoint is between both of them. So the midpoint is equal basically x2 plus x1 divided by 2. That's 1 point, and your second point is going to be y2 plus y1 divided by 2. So in this case, m comes out to 2x plus each other, be 7 plus minus 5, so 7 minus 5, and divide that by 2, and that's 1 point. And your second point is going to be 3 plus 4, and divide that by 2. And that's going to be your midpoint. So that becomes 7 minus 2 become 1. So there's a midpoint. And then 3 plus 4 is 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. Here it is. One more last problem. It's about variation. When we have two variables vary each other. So let's say we have V, three letters given to us, V, and they're giving us C, and they're giving us H, and they say, okay, V varies directly with combination of C and H. That means V is directly C times H. And if they say the constant is like 3/4, for example, then you're going to say, okay, V is equal 3/4 times CH. So V basically varies directly with jointly with C and H by a constant of 3/4. Good luck.